Hi, thank you for including us in this important conversation. As you are exploring ideas around sustainability and the role of the maker, Kathleen and I want to invite you to join in this movement that we are going to talk to you about today. Hopefully, you will hear from our talk that what we do is not about the black and white of right answers, but rather about working together to find better solutions. This presentation is our call to action to you. Kathleen and I will take turns talking to you today. I will start by giving you some background about ethical metalsmiths and the work that we do, and then Kathleen will follow with an overview of Radical Jewelry Makeover, or RJM as we call it. A little introduction about me and how I came to this work. My first degree is in geology. It was at the end of my studies that I realized I could not pursue a career in mineral exploration for potential mining projects. It did not agree with my environmental values. 10 years later, as I took my first full-time academic appointment as an art professor after switching paths from geology to art, I realized I had inadvertently done just that. I was participating in the very thing I was trying to avoid just by my participation in sourcing materials for jewelry. It was at that time that I began working with ethical metalsmiths as a way to find solutions to how an artist could continue to have a vital practice while striving to find sustainable solutions. One of the first facts that connected my environmental values to my new career path of jewelry was this. In 2007, No Dirty Gold reported that for every one gold ring produced, over 20 tons of waste rock were created. This figure fluctuates from mine to mine, but think about that. Over 20 tons of waste for that one small ring on your finger. To give you an idea of how much rock we're talking about, this man is standing next to a 25-ton boulder. RJM is part of the outreach arm of Ethical Metalsmiths, a nonprofit dedicated to responsible jewelry practices through education, connection, and action. I will share a little bit of background on this organization that has been leading the United States jewelry industry in search of better practices since 2004. Ethical Metalsmiths was started by two art activists, Susan Kingsley and Christina Miller, pictured here on the right with one of the Dan sisters from the Western Shoshone tribe in Nevada. Early on, the organization's main focus was to inspire artists to use their creative voice to make a difference. Some of our early projects included exhibitions such as Golden Opportunity and Composting Good and Evil. This was early on in the sustainable jewelry movement, and the goal was to get artists to think about the materials they were using, think about the ramification of materials and their extractions, and to infuse work with conceptual investigations about this burgeoning field. Here's some sample work from the Golden Opportunity exhibition. Since that time, the organization has grown in size, in membership, and in programming. Our mission is now, as I said before, about inspiring responsible jewelry practices through education, connection, and action. We have an all-volunteer, very active board of directors and an advisory board made up of jewelers, vendors of jewelry supplies, such as gemstones and diamonds, educators and activists working together to bring transparency, sustainability, diversity, and accessible information to the field of jewelry. We really believe in passionate participation. Up on the screen, you are looking at our jewelry members director page. You are looking at our jewelry members pages where jewelers can feature their work where consumers can find a jeweler working with best practices. A big project we undertook for the last number of years is a self-assessment that jewelers and designers can use to assess their businesses, analyze their material choices and sources, interrogate their studio environments and the ways they dispose of waste materials like chemicals and scraps, as well as how they ship goods. It isn't meant as a way of judging companies, but rather creating a transparency tool that can help reveal the range of ways a company could have best practices. It is also a way to share practices with the consumer so that they can also participate through their purchasing power and dollars while learning what sustainability means in the field of jewelry. Ethical Metalsmiths is focused on pushing the entire supply chain from mine to consumer, creating economic opportunities to realize the change we want to see. In 2013, Ethical Metalsmiths, in partnership with the Alliance for Responsible Mining and the refinery Hoover & Strong, brought the first fair mined gold to the United States market. At that time, this was absolutely new to the United States. It was truly historic. Fair mined is special because it does allow the jeweler, consumer, or buyer to support one mine directly and to know exactly where the material comes from. It also allows for a direct relationship between miner, mining community, and jewelers. When we first created a consortium of jewelers who invested in the metal, we were so moved by the curiosity of the jewelers to know the miners and the miners to know the jewelers and what they would do with the metal. This brings up another point about fair mined, which is that it monitors how the material is extracted and used. Our partnership was with Orelsa Mining Company in the highlands of Peru. We targeted this cooperative not only for how they mined, but also because the environment is so arid and there is little impact on water resources, and the community is very strong. In some ways, this feels like ancient history 9 years later, because a jeweler can now easily order fair mined material simply by picking up the phone and calling Hoover & Strong, who carries this material full-time from a variety of different mines. Ethical Metalsmiths also fiscally supports independent projects that they feel strongly about. One of these is called Better Without Mercury. This is a recent initiative started by Christina Miller, who has gone on to create her own consulting company. There is a strong push in the sustainable jewelry movement to end the use of mercury in gold mining extraction. With Christina's initiative, she is working with La Fortaleza artisanal mine in Colombia. After 4 decades of using mercury in their extraction processes, La Fortaleza stopped using mercury in 2017. Their goal is to meet fair mine standards, but standing in their way are 400 tons of mercury contaminated lands. Christina is working with Roberto Alvarez to raise the necessary funds to support the mercury cleanup. The way that I look at this is, of course, I as a jeweler can support the mine by purchasing the material they extract, but the true cost of working in this field is to take responsibility for what we all do collectively. And here is an example of what we've done and now need to fix. We need to support projects like this so that we can all make better choices moving forward. We also just launched an emerging jeweler program where we connect designers who are just starting their businesses or changing their businesses to reflect environmental and humanitarian concerns with mentors from the Ethical Metalsmiths community. We want to help change practices by connecting people with the resources they need in order to easily do the right thing. As an organization dedicated to teaching and advocating for best practices, our blog called The Source is an important part of our work. On it, you will find informative articles about sourcing, mining, and sustainable practices. Kathleen and I also serve as members on Ethical Metalsmiths Education Committee, where we dive further into the mission of education. We work on a number of projects, and as a committee, we always have a list of initiatives. Our mission is not to dictate a correct way to do things, and truly, there is no such thing as a perfect practice, but there are wise choices. This is what we hope to encourage through the various projects organized by the members of this committee, who you can see up on the screen. In the last few slides, I will talk about some of our work on this committee. In 2014, a group of my students at VCU formed a student committee which aimed to inspire and motivate students around the world to consider their studio practices and how they could do things better. They really wanted to connect with their peers around the world and find out what others were doing around issues of sustainability, material sourcing, studio safety, and responsibility. To accomplish their task, they designed an exhibition and emerging jeweler competition titled So Fresh, So Clean. The So Fresh, So Clean exhibition is about exploration and opening up a conversation through making. It is important to stress that while we want to change practices and shape the field, it can't be done without a willingness to jump in and participate. This is one way we achieve this goal. We want students to join this community and to join the discussion on how we might make better decisions when it comes to studio practices, the environment, and human health. The next call for entry will be April 2022. The 2021 call for entry just closed and the exhibition will be launching online this fall. Follow EM Students on Instagram for more information. And any of you listening today who are students or teachers, please spread the word about this. The competition has fantastic monetary prizes and publicity opportunities. All of the past exhibitions are housed on the Ethical Metalsmiths website, where you can see amazing student work from around the world. I think this is one of the most vital programs we have, because it always renews my optimism that we can find better ways to do things. Another initiative, Critical Smiths, is one way to engage and invite other student chapters to form at other schools. It provides a platform for students to research topics around responsibility and safety in the studio. Students at Queensland College of Art in Brisbane, Australia, for example, did a research project on flux, which you can find by following the link at the bottom of the screen. If your program is interested in joining, contact us. Here is a recent research project on pickle that we just published from a student at Massachusetts College of Art and Design. The last project I will talk about started in the spring of 2020 as COVID-19 was spreading around the world and universities closed their doors to in-person learning. We created a call for entry called Academics in Pandemic. This online exhibition was created in response to the extraordinary efforts of faculty and students during the pandemic. As teachers ourselves, we were faced with the question of how do we keep teaching and learning and making? We wanted to connect with our peers and support each other and share information. Again, working within this organization, we were able to quickly connect with our community and collaborate. Students' work was curated into various categories, and jewelers' workspaces were featured in order to see the creative solutions that students found in order to continue making, even when their school studios were shut down. This was an inspiring way to connect with teachers and to see their ingenuity. All of the work is now an open source resource for students and educators. In many ways, this project pointed directly back to the early origin of the organization, when we had calls for entry that invited a conceptual dialogue through making. It celebrated jewelry's innate ability to communicate without words. Truly, what is a better tool to communicate the need to distance oneself from another than a piece of jewelry? We plan to continue Academics in Pandemic with 2 future calls for exhibitions. Part 2 will focus on efforts of students and educators in the midst of the pandemic, and Part 3 will examine work post-pandemic to see how we've been changed by our experiences. Again, you will be able to find the call if you follow us on social media. We are a strong community and we participate, as you can see. I hope you will get involved in our work. Next, Kathleen will talk about our project, Radical Jewelry Makeover. Take it away, Kathleen.
Hi, everyone. Radical Jewelry Makeover, or RJM as it is affectionately known, is one of EM's longest running projects. The very first RJM happened in 2007 at Virginia Commonwealth University in the United States, where Susie teaches. She and Christina, the co-designers, both realized there was an immense amount of waste being generated in the jewelry industry and also being generated in their classrooms. They wanted to investigate how to tackle and deal with the fact that we have too much stuff. They wanted to use their studio practices and classrooms to find solutions while continuing to make. I was a student in that very first RJM. Up on the screen, you can see me in the tiara pulled from a pile of donations watching Susie give us a mold making demo. This project had a profound impact on me as an undergraduate student. I was just beginning to picture what it meant to be an artist and to form my own studio practice. I had not really thought about where my materials were coming from or the impact I had on the environment or supply chain. I came away thinking that choices we make, even the smallest choices, can make a difference. I became an RJM Artist Project member in 2014, and in 2017, I joined Susie as co-director of RJM. I couldn't be more proud to be part of this project. So what is RJM? It is an international traveling community jewelry mining and recycling project that draws attention to the creativity and skills of local jewelry designers. It reveals the stories behind our personal collections and encourages reconsideration of our habits of consumption. It brings together volunteer miners, people who dig out and donate their old jewelry, with volunteer jewelers and students working together as refiners and designers. On the screen are the overarching objectives we use to guide us. I will be addressing these through the next images. Here's how the project works. First, RJM is invited and hosted by universities, colleges, and art centers, along with a gallery who work together to involve the local community. Secondly, we create a call to action donation drive, which asks for the community's unwanted, mismatched, or broken jewelry. We see this as a way of turning local people into miners and having them dig into their jewelry boxes for us. We really look at our donors like citizen anthropologists who are combing through their collections, hoards, histories, and separating what is to be kept and what is to be given. It is a request that requires mindful participation in that people are investigating their jewelry, its stories, its meaning, its value. Sometimes this is the only type of participation this group of people will have, other than potentially claiming a piece of the exhibition at the end of the project installment. Even though this may seem like a small action, it's a huge part of the project. We use this as a platform to raise awareness of our habits of consumption and collecting in order to bring an understanding of how their unwanted jewelry could be put back to use in a valuable way. As our project is also meant to interrogate the jewelry industry, this is also where our transparent supply chain really begins, at these donors' jewelry boxes. Once the material is donated and gathered, we work with volunteer jewelry participants to sort, assess, and categorize the jewelry. Assessing the material for its reuse potential is one of the most important parts of the project. We want to make the material as viable as possible for the jewelers who will use it as their raw material. Donors are given a coupon that they can use to claim a piece at the exhibition. The coupon is based on the reuse value of their donation. This is another way that we see the project educating participants about what materials are used to make jewelry broadly across the industry and field. A little bit about the materials that are donated. We receive about 100 pounds or 45 kilograms of jewelry at each installment. 99% is costume jewelry, while the other 1% is precious material. Of course, 99% is costume. It's cheap, easy to purchase, easy to wear, and easy to replace. It wasn't even made to last. In our RJM system, this jewelry has the lowest reuse value because it is difficult to use, it is brittle, we don't always know what it is made from, and it has a strong aesthetic. More importantly, this jewelry is not recyclable. Making this jewelry into new jewelry often means only extending its life for a short while longer. The other 1% of materials are precious, and those are 100% recyclable, over and over and over without degradation. These materials are assessed at the highest value, and the coupons reflect that. Within the project, these materials are collaboratively refined or used as is. We want to make sure that artists have access to sheet and wire similar to the ways they are used to working if they need it. We try not to use anything from outside of our RJM economy except solder and maybe some findings. After the materials are sorted and assessed, We work with jewelers in the community to remake this material into new jewelry. We create collaborative work environments where jewelers share ideas, trade techniques, and help each other. We have shared making sessions with demonstrations, video screenings, discussions, and critiques. This is also when we talk about ethical sourcing, sustainability, and wise studio practices. Community building is a large part of this project. One of our goals is always to catalyze regional jewelry communities where independent jewelers are often used to working in isolated studio situations. So far, we have collaborated with over 1,000 people, creating an international network of artists and jewelers. One of the main challenges of RJM is to turn the unwanted materials into jewelry that is wanted. Part of the project's mission is to create jewelry that can go back out into the world and compete against what is being made through conventional means. The next few images are of made-over jewelry. You will recognize a lot of costume jewelry parts mixed in with traditionally fabricated components made by artists. With that in mind, making this jewelry requires incredible ingenuity and innovation. These materials are difficult to work with. They have a strong aesthetic, they aren't made to last, etc. The project invites experimentation and offers the space, time, and materials to do it. We really direct the project with generosity in mind so that jewelers, in a sense, get what they need out of the project: shared experience, collaboration, a space to try new things. All of that helps to ensure that RJM gets what it needs out of the project, which is amazing new jewelry that will go out and tell the story of how it got to where it is. The project is a small-scale example of how we both culturally and industrially might consider using materials differently. We also challenge participants with design strategies that consider human and environmental health as the primary consideration for making the work. We ask jewelers to consider what will happen in the future when their work re-enters the RJM food chain and becomes part of the unwanted reuse pile. Will a jeweler be able to take it apart or melt it down? Did they design something that will be valuable, or will it be unable to be used based on how it was worked with in this part of its life cycle? In a sense, we have to ask ourselves, if this is what is donated, what does it say about what isn't donated? How or can we make this stuff into jewelry that won't get donated in the future? Artists are also challenged to really alter or transform each piece of jewelry. If it is not transformed, it does not go out into the world. In our minds, this reveals the difference between throwaway resources and those with cradle-to-cradle potential. Ultimately, we really want this jewelry to subvert the worlds of high-end and fashion jewelry. So far, there have been 15 installments of the project, and hundreds of pieces of made-over jewelry are out in the world being worn. Each installment is unique mainly because the needs and interests of the communities we collaborate with are different. In 2011, for example, we went to Santa Fe, New Mexico to work with the Wheelwright Museum of the American Indian to partner with regional universities, colleges, art centers, and the local guild. It was an opportunity to comparatively examine an exhibition of traditional Thunderbird jewelry made in the 1920s to the 1950s, alongside an exhibition of RJM work made by the regional community. These two exhibits highlighted recurring values and processes present throughout history. What it really pointed out is that we've been recycling and reusing forever. We aren't doing anything new, but our project highlights how necessary this strategy is today. Through it, we are offering artists a valuable platform to investigate their environmental, social, and political motivations. RJM 13 in Baltimore pulled the narrative quality of the project forward as a primary focus. When someone donates their jewelry to our project, we always ask if there is a story behind what they've given. Jewelers often use these stories anonymously as inspiration for the made-over pieces. Up on the screen is a ring by Matt Jackson, a young student who was moved by the story of a donor's divorce. He used a tornado as a metaphor to honor the donor's story. So in Baltimore, to start with, They had an exhibition that featured certain pieces from the donations paired with the donor's story. Here's a view of that exhibition. The change made during RJM Baltimore also affected the Wisconsin installment. We hired an actor who pieced together donor stories from previous RJMs into a moving performance during our kickoff symposium. People in the audience were laughing, crying, and were incredibly moved to hear what people wrote. He was invited back at the end of the project to the exhibition reception, where he performed stories from the Wisconsin donations. These stories remind us that jewelry holds particular significance for us. We wear it to celebrate our individuality, but also to communicate important information, like being married or partnered with another person. We pass pieces on to our children and family members. It serves as a reminder for significant events and memories. Which begs the question, why would we want to imbue such significance on an object that potentially cause significant harm to another human being or to the environment? The last point we'll make about RJM is to say that the project really demonstrates how two very different sides of one industry mix together in people's minds and jewelry boxes, costume and luxury jewelry. And while the project is fun, RJM is a way for us to talk about the problems of sourcing and transparency while offering practical solutions for how a jeweler can continue to have a vital studio practice. Until traceability becomes the norm, in our opinion, the most responsible option for jewelers is recycling. We are lucky that precious metals fit within the technical nutrient cycle of a cradle-to-cradle production system, meaning metals such as gold and silver can be used over and over again, as I mentioned before. This is complicated though, because unfortunately there are significant problems with recycling. So here, I'll contradict myself and explain some of the problems. First, recycling does not help to pinpoint where our metals are coming from originally. This means that while RJM creates a transparent supply chain from the moment it receives the material, we have no knowledge of the ramifications extraction caused originally. This obviously extends to other jewelers using recycled materials too. 2, recycling has done little to change the demand for newly mined gold or other materials that we rely on. By not participating in the supply chain of newly mined material, we are not influencing the industry for the better. In a sense, it is important to support companies engaged in best practices in order to change the industry. And 3, with costume jewelry, as I talked about, we can't truly recycle, we can only reuse. With all of that in mind, our aim in the project is to empower jewelers to participate, make changes in their studio practices, and to do it in a way that keeps their eyes open to all of the pros and cons within our field. There's always more to say about RJM, and lucky for many of you, RJM is headed to Brazil. We are collaborating with Adriana Moll at the State University of Minas Gerais, along with Criadoro and EMJ, and we'll be working closely with them in the coming months. Keep an eye out for the donation drive, which is set to launch in later June or July, and follow RJM Brazil on Instagram to see how you can get involved. With that, thank you very much for having us today. We look forward to working with your community in the coming months. Here are some links for you if you are curious to find out more. And while I'm not here live, Susie is, and she would love to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you.